Hi, I'm going to teach you how to teach your clients skills that your CFP classes never covered. My name is Joy Slaybaugh. I'm a CFP and a therapist and really passionate about helping advisors go deeper with their clients so they can have transformative relationships and deliver value that is unquestionable to their clients. Every advisor I know became a financial advisor because they want to help people. My question for you is, when you started out, did you expect that you would be caught in the middle of family conflicts? I hear this from my advisor friends. Like, I love what I do, but some of these clients are fighting and I'm caught in the middle. What do I do about this? Well, I'm going to share with you some techniques that counselors use that are also very helpful for CFPs when they're applied to their clients. We're going to be talking about some clients, Robert and Tanya, along the way as we talk about how to apply these 3 skills that I'll be sharing with you. The first skill is to use your energy wisely and notice what's going on inside of you. It's really common that when we experience conflict we see conflict from other people in front of us, we might have reactions inside us. And these reactions can impact how we actually show up with these people and engage with these people, and can impact in ways that you might not realize. So that's why this first piece is to tend to what's going on inside of you. So with these clients, we're talking about Robert and Tanya. They're a couple, and Robert is someone who doesn't like to say no on spending. That's really important to him, that he never have to tell his children no, never have to tell his partner no, that they be able to spend as much as they want. Tanya is someone who really values her partner because of his earning power and the lifestyle that he provides. The couple's conflict that they're facing is the fact that they actually are at the upper limits of their spending and need to cut back on their spending. So there's conflict between the two of them because they're wondering, well, what are we going to do? And Tanya says to Robert, you just need to earn more money. And Robert doesn't want to tell Tanya no, doesn't want to tell the kids no if we can't afford that thing. And so Robert ends up internalizing this, feeling guilty, and is really, really stressed out about it. So as I share this with you, notice what happens with you. Do you imagine a couple like this with these issues in front of you fighting? What happens? I don't know about for you, but for me, this touches on some of my own attitudes about money. And I know that for me, it's really important to not spend money. And so I notice that inside me is there's like a voice that comes up that's like, oh my God, they need to spend less money. Cut back, cut back. So I share this to give an example of how important it is to recognize what's happening in us, because if we don't, it can come out to these clients without us realizing that we're pressuring, right? And so for these clients, it wouldn't necessarily be helpful for me to just come off the bat and say like, well, y'all need to spend less money. That's my own bias that's coming out at these clients, which is again why this first skill is using your energy wisely and notice what's going on inside you. So here I'm noticing with these clients, my bias towards spending less money. The second skill is to notice what's going on in the room. Everyone has different parts inside of them. Like I'm sure you've experienced this, you get home after work and there's a part of you that really wants to go for a run or go work out. And there's another part of you that wants to lie on the couch and do absolutely nothing. And that's really normal. We have different parts inside of us that want different things at the same time. That's really common. And this can happen with money too. It happens a lot with money, right? I know you see this, your clients that are like, hey, I want to be disciplined. And they're also like, but I really want to take this vacation that blows my budget. You see these conflicts. Well, it's no different with Robert and Tanya. Robert really wants to build wealth. He wants to build generational wealth. He grew up very, very poor. And it's really important to him to build generational wealth that he can pass on to his children. And yet, that's one part of him. And yet another part of him does not want to tell his children no today, that anything they want, he wants to be able to provide to them. So you can see how these are in conflict with each other. And the one undermines the other. And yet both of these parts of Robert have like really good intentions. They're trying to help his kids. One is trying to help them in the present. One is trying to help them long-term in the future. So that's what's going on with Robert. And Tanya, it turns out that she grew up with a father who used money to control his entire family. And it's really important to her that she feel like there's no limits on spending, because spending represents like controlling her life. And so for Tanya, like she really wants that freedom. And yet she also looks to her partner to provide, be the primary breadwinner. She also works multiple jobs actually, and yet she sees a responsibility for increased income as being on her partner. So there's some conflict there as well, that and contradictions there as well, that Tanya wants freedom and no limits on spending, and she wants to be in control of that, and yet she also wants to give up control of who's responsible for actually earning the money. So contradictions. So this piece of like noticing what's going on in the room is noticing these contradictions as they're happening, and then being able to go a little bit deeper and find out the why behind it, right? So Tanya's not bad for wanting to be in control. It makes a ton of sense why she would, based on the background that she has. And she's also not like bad or wrong for wanting her partner to provide the bulk of their income. That's like a personal preference. There's nothing wrong about that. There's a lot of cultural programming around that. And the same thing for Robert, that, you know, his desire to leave transformational wealth to his kids isn't bad. Neither is his desire to try to want to spoil his children today. None of these are inherently bad things. And in fact, these desires are trying to help their family situation or help their personal situation in their own way. And so they're all coming from a good place. So the skill here is to notice these contradictions and look to understand how they're trying to help the person, how they're trying to help the couple, help the family, help the situation. And then the third skill is reflect back what you see. So this skill can be so helpful in helping lower the temperature in the room, like as conflict is happening. So as first you're noticing what's going on with you and the reactions that you have. You notice what's going on in the room, all these different parts, how they're contradicting, how they're trying to help, and then reflect that back. Reflect back what you see, like, hey, Robert, I see that, you have one part of you feels this way, another part of you feels that way. And you reflect back the same to Tanya. One part of you feels this way, other part of you feels that way. And normalize this, right? It is completely normal for humans that we feel contradictory things at the same time. We sometimes tend to stigmatize it, especially in fields like ours that are, this is kind of a brainy analytic field in a way. And we sometimes can stigmatize and be like, oh, well, we've got to be intellectual and rational. And if my client's not rational, then, there's a problem. Well, yeah, we are rational at times, and we all have rational parts, and we have other parts that feel differently. So if you can normalize for your clients that it's okay to feel all these different ways about their money, that can help bring relief to them. And also, as part of this, as you reflect back what you're seeing, you normalize this, look to bring compassion to them. Like, keep in mind this idea that every part is always trying to help them. Look to understand how it's trying to help them, and reflect that back to the client of like, Robert, I see how you are trying to give your children a better life than you have, of, letting them have the toys now, letting them have the trips to Disney, the vacations, the lake house, letting them enjoy all of that now, because you had none of that. And I see how you had no help financially from anyone in your life. And I see how important it is to you to give your children some help and some support as they are moving into adulthood, some financial support. And like, bring compassion, and that you get where they're coming from on this. And then like the same with Tanya. Like, Tanya, I get it, how if someone was used money to control you, I see how that would be so important to you, that you feel like you're in control of money and that no one can control you any longer. And also, like, her desire to have her partner be the primary breadwinner, like, I see how this is coming from a place of really wanting to feel financially secure, and that you can rely on this person and that you can trust them. And like, I get it. I get wanting to feel safe, financially safe in a relationship, and why that might be important to you. So like, you bring this compassion to them, and then you can invite them to bring compassion to themselves. Like, I'm sure you've seen it. So many times our clients like really will hate on themselves, like, oh, I can't believe I feel this way. I can't believe I'm doing this. I keep doing this. Invite them to also experience that compassion, right? Like you're normalizing it. Like, I get why you would do this, why you might feel this way. It makes sense based on the experience that you've had, and see if they can access some of that for themselves. That can lower the temperature even further. And that is what can really allow these clients to, they're really like hyped up and really like entrenched in some of these positions. Is what can allow them to relax, where they start to then consider, maybe I don't need to be quite as rigid here. Maybe there's some opportunity to flex here. And after they bring compassion to themselves, then you can also invite, can they bring compassion to the other? Can they see the other's point of view? They don't have to agree with it, but can they at least see where that person is coming from and recognize that, yeah, it makes sense that they might feel the way they do based on the lived experience that they have. As you do this, as you notice what's going on with you, kind of take care of that, check your own biases. As you notice what's going on in the room, and then reflect back what you see, inviting, like sharing your own compassion to the clients, inviting them to share their compassion with themselves and with each other. This is what can unwind these intractable conflicts that your clients often bring into you, right? Like, this is a fight. This is not a new fight with Robert and Tanya. This is a fight that's been going on with the almost 2 decades they've been married, right? Just now that they've brought someone else into the fight to witness this. But this process that I'm sharing with you is what can allow clients to unwind things that they thought were stuck. And they're thinking like, well, maybe we have to end the marriage because we have these conflicts. So I share this with you because these skills, as applied to your clients with these financial conflicts, can be transformative. You got in this industry because you want to help people, like you can, and you can help them on an even deeper level, really uncovering some of the emotional issues that they bring to you with their money. You can help them with this. And so what I invite you to consider is just think about how many more clients and referrals you would have if you could easily and systematically resolve these conflicts. Like Robert and Tanya have been fighting about this for years. Like, you helped them bring some relief here. Like, they're telling their friends about this. That they're singing your praises because this has been a real sticking point for them, and you brought them relief. So think about how many more folks you could be working with if you had these skills to easily and systematically resolve these conflicts that people have around their money that shows up internally as well as it shows up in relationship with others. Thanks for watching. I'll invite you to check out a video I made that goes in more depth on this. You can click the link in my profile to watch it and learn more about how you can systematically help your clients resolve these conflicts so you can support them on a deeper level. Thanks for watching.